This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV, CloudEXPO East New York, the leap year of 2016. We're here in day 3 and we're sitting with Kamal Shank with IBM. And he wants to talk about graph databases? Is that what we want to talk about? I think so. We're going to start there, and then I think we're going to veer into DevOps at some point. Kamal, thanks for joining us, and tell everyone what you do.
Thank you. So I'm a manager, software development manager at IBM, Cloud Data Services, where we host and fully managed cloud data services, whether we store the data, move the data, or run analytics on the data with things like Cloud and Database, DataWorks, so it would move the data for us, or streaming the data, and Spark technology, where you can run analytics for the data. My team is mainly out of the Boston area, and we have a small team that we sort of put together last year to start a new exciting service called IBM Graph.
And what is IBM Graph? What does it do, and why should I care? Or more important, why should our viewers care?
Well, the viewers need to care about the graph technology in general. This is not a new technology, it's a pretty old one. Until recently, it's been used mostly in the social network space. If you think of LinkedIn or Facebook, you have people that know each other, so you can represent it in a graph where the node is the person, and if they're friends with another person, they would have a relation between them called an edge. So it's really optimized for storing and querying and visualizing highly interconnected data. Now, we're not in the social network aspect of things, so we want to take this to the next level here and make a graph database available for people to use for applications like recommendation engines, fraud detections, and much more, even master data management. So everything you see here, every person here could be a node that could be saved in the graph. I'm talking to you right now, that could be a relationship between us.
I get it.
Right, and if you talk to somebody else, I could be related to them through you. This can be used as one of the strongest use cases we're going after to begin with is a recommendation engine. So somebody can use this in the commerce world where they maintain the social connectivity between their users, and they can use that. They know what the users buy. They know their patterns, and if they see similar patterns between users, they can use that to recommend products that the user hasn't bought before. For example, Roger, if you care about buying you bought a new camera, you bought a new iPhone, you bought a new, you bought peanuts, which is out of this world, right? So, and I know you, we're connected together, and I bought that camera, I bought the iPhone, which means we must have talked before, and we have similar taste. I can say, hey, would you like some peanuts? Because Roger bought some peanuts.
Now, what does that have to do with DevOps? You want to talk about that too? Is that from your internal perspective or from the customer perspective?
I think both. So our value here is there are database engines out there, graph database engines out there you can use. Neo4j is one of the leading one. However, these technologies are mostly shrink wrap products that you have to take yourself, and you have to install, deploy, maintain, and basically put a lot of focus into the service itself instead of focusing on your application at the end of the day, which is the recommendation engine. So if I'm a retail, I don't want to be in that space. I don't want to be in the space of maintaining servers and the application layers in between me and the user. I want to focus on building my application, getting my data. Data is money for me. I want to get it into a graph database. I want to be able to query it and have an application that gives me the end result that can accelerate my revenue using recommendation engines. So how this goes into the DevOps world is we do all this work for you. I mean, this is the hashtag sleep more is we use this across the CDS services because we understand and we know that it's very hard for customers to maintain any of these applications, whether it's a database that you want to store your data, or the infrastructure for it, or the machines. So my team does that. My teams take care of this for the customers, so they don't have to. When we started this journey about a year ago, we started with a bunch of developers that we don't know what we're gonna do, right? We came from the world. Most of us came from the world of on-premise, where we develop a product. and then there's a GA date, you shrink wrap it, and you send it across. And then you wait and see what's going to happen. Is there support? What's the next support ticket's going to come? Is it going to go good, bad? That all completely changed. So now we have a very solid agile process in place where we have continuous delivery, where we go basically from a master branch in Git to production with checkpoints in the middle. And the team does a lot more than just development. We develop the core product itself. We consume, and I missed to talk about that one. The open source technology we're using. I need to remind me to talk about that one.
Sure.
We do that work. We build the operation, we build the pipeline, we operate the service. If a machine goes down, a service goes down, we take care of that for the end user. So at the end of the day, they get a URL for their API to call, they get the UI, and that's all they have to worry about. Everything behind the scene is something we take care of.
Okay, what's the open source aspect?
Yeah, so IBM Graph is actually built on Tinkerpop 3. It's an interesting name that makes you tickle, but it's an Apache project that's really picking up steam, and at IBM we started to embrace the open source technologies and invest more and more in it, and that's just one example. We believe that there's a power to the community when they come together and innovate and build something together. Part of our responsibility is to be committers there as well and contribute back to the community. So we do that as well.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of. IBM's a big company with lots of diverse resources these days. So where's the best place to look online for what you're doing? And then also if there's a GitHub or community place they should look for the open source stuff, that would be great as well.
Yeah,
where should they look?
Yeah, so I start by just Googling IBM Graph, where you're going to see us in the first, the hit is going to be right there, and we are born on Bluemix, which is IBM's platform, cloud platform. So you can go to Bluemix and search for IBM Graph as well.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. For CISCON TV, this is Roger Struckoff.